Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, my dear students, grade 12 students in your math part in your SAT course. This is your second exam, experimental test. Inshallah, we'll start this solving this exam together, and this is part of our revision before the exam. Let's start by number one. By how many ways can five persons sit around a table? As we said, we have two types of problems of this type. If we have a number of persons around a table without a reference point or with reference point, it's a factorial n. Without reference point like this problem, n minus 1 factorial. So we write n minus 1 factorial. It means 5 minus 1 factorial, or factorial 5 minus 1. It means factorial 4. Factorial 4 equals 24, because it's 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. So it's 24. So the answer of this problem is 24. So if you ask me about the number of ways, or how many ways around a table without reference point, so n minus 1 factorial. With reference point, factorial the number directly. Number 2, if f of x equal 4x minus 3, then f of negative 2. Just simplify by substituting, by replacing x by negative 2. So 4 multiplied by negative 2 minus 3. 4 multiplied by negative 2 equals negative 8. Negative 8 minus 3 equals negative 11. This is the answer of the second problem. We're going to the third one. The third one, he asked me about what is the best description for the opposite graphic representation. As we said, we have a normal distribution, and we have two special cases: a positive skewed distribution, or skewed at the right, or negative skewed distribution, or skewed at the left. As we have here the tail. The tail is at the left. So it's a negative skewed distribution. Okay, this is the answer of number 3. We're going to number 4. Number 4, what is the type of the triangle if the measures of two angles in it are 50 and 80? So the sum of measures of the interior angles of any triangle is 180. So we get the third angle, 180 minus 50 plus 80. It will be also 50. So now the three angles are 50 degrees, and 80 degrees. So we have isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle, two sides are equal, two base angles are equal. Equilateral triangle is the triangle, all its sides are equal, all its angles are equal. Each angle equals 180 divided by 3 equals 60 degrees. Obtuse angle, one of its angle is obtuse. Right angle, one of its angle is right, and rest two acute angles. We go into the next. The next, he said, find the original function. Find the original function. It means integration. Excellent. So if you ask me about find the original function, I need the integration. So I'll take the integration of 3x power 2 minus 1 dx. First, I'll use the rule of the integration. I add 1 to the power of x, okay, becomes x power 3, and divide by the new power. Okay, and then after that, minus 1 becomes minus x, because if we have any constant, we will multiply it by x. Our constant is 1 times x equal x. And don't forget, please don't forget the constant of the integration, c. After that, we will simplify here 3, here 3. So the answer will be x power 3 minus x plus c. And this is our answer, which is letter A. We're going to which of the following geometric sequence where A is greater than 1? Geometric sequence, it means you will multiply by a constant number. You will multiply by a constant number. Why, mister? Because he said here A greater than 1. Greater than 1, so it's multiply. Multiply by a constant number. Here you will divide. Okay, so it's out. Here you will not multiply, so it's out here also. So the answer will be letter B, and every time you will multiply by A. You multiply A by A becomes A power 2. You multiply by A becomes A power 3. You multiply by A becomes A power 4, and so on. So our answer will be letter B, because in the geometric sequence, you will multiply or divide by a constant number, which is called R. We're going to number 7. If A and B are two vectors such that B equals 3 and negative 5, A equals 2 and negative 1, then find 2A minus B. If you have a problem like this, it's like a gift. Just we get 2A, so multiply A by 2. So A is here 3 and negative 5, so becomes 6 and negative 10. And then after that, minus B, write B as it is. Okay, a very common mistake. A very common mistake. Please read the problem very well. You will start by A, but here in the problem, he started by B. So pay attention about this, please. Okay, so when we have a problem like this, you must start by A. Where is A? A is here. So I multiply here by 2. As I said, I multiply A, not B. So Mr. becomes here 4 and becomes here negative 2. And then after that, I'll make minus. So 4 and here minus 2. And here after that, minus B, which is 3 and negative 5. So the result will be here 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. And here negative 2 minus negative 5. It means plus 5. It will be 3. So the result will be letter D. Okay, so pay attention, please, about the order. Start here by B. Start here by B. Always, Mr. We start by A, but here he make a small tricky problem. It's a gift, but a small tricky problem. Some of my dear students don't pay attention about it. We're going to number 8. A bag contains 3 red pens and 4 blue pens. If 2 pens are drawn randomly, it means without or not biased to one of the type of the pens. What is the probability that the 2 pens are different color? What is the probability of the 2 pens are a different color? So if you have a problem like this, we're going to first we have to get the NCR. Okay, so NCR. Okay, so first we have to get the NCR over the total. How, mister? Pay attention with me. So if you have a problem like this, you make a fraction. The fraction is NCR for the red bins. We have to choose 1 red bin out of 3. So it's 3C1 multiply. You have to choose 1 blue from 4. So we have to get 4C1. And then after that, you have to get 2 bins of the total 7. So 7C2. And then get the result. 3C1 multiply 4C1. So it's 3 multiply by 4 over 21. How you get the result? Because NCR, for example, I get this. Okay, so it's 7 multiply by 6 multiply by 5 stop factorial. Because if you get the difference here, it will be 5 factorial multiply by 2 factorial. Cancel this with this. So you have here 7 times 6 equal 42. 42 divided by 2 equals 21. So this is the way to get the NCR for 7C2. Okay, by the same way, you can get 3C1 and 4C1. So it will be here 12 over 21. So the result will be 12 over 21. If you have the problem like this. Mister, this is not the simplest form. So, Mister, I'll divide here by 3. I'll divide here by 3 to get the simplest form because you will ask it to get the simplest form in any problem. In any problem. 12 divided by 3 equals 4, and 21 divided by 3 equals 7. So the result will be 4 over 7. We're going to the next problem. Which of the following measures is the best use where many values is repeated? As we said, the measures of center are 3 measures. If you ask you about the measure of center of tendency, center of tendency, center of tendency is 3 measures. The mean, the median, and the mood. We use the mood if we have repeated value. Mister, it's like the problem, so its the answer is the mood. We use the median if you have extreme values. If you have extreme values, it means the values that very far from the collection of the other values. So we use the median. We use the mean if we have a homogeneous data. Okay, so if the data is repeated, we use the mood, and the mood is the most frequently number or the most famous number. We're going to the center of the ellipse, or the center of the hyperbola. It's very easy, or the center of the circle. The center is H and K. H here, you will get it by using the number with X, but don't forget to change sign. So it will be -2, and here K is the number with Y in the bracket, so it will be, yes, 5, not -5 after changing the point. So the result will be letter D. We're going to number 11. Number 11, the angle of pi over 6 radian equals. Directly from solving problems from practice, you know, pi over 6, it means 180 over 6, it means 30. So pay attention about the spies means 180, and all of you know from the practice that pi over 6 is equal to 30, pi over 3 is equal to 60, pi over 2 is equal to 90, pi is equal to 180, and 2 pi is equal to 360. We're going to the next problem, number 12. In number 12, you need to simplify this expression. We need to simplify this expression. If we have an expression like this and we need to simplify, you must go and revise the trigonometric identities. Okay, the first we have here 1 minus sine squared. 1 minus sine squared. Yes, excellent. 1 minus sine squared equal cosine square theta. So I'll replace 1 minus sine squared by cosine squared and write the denominator as it is, which is cosine squared. Any number over itself is equal to 1. So the problem is very easy, as you see, and we solve it in about a few seconds. We have here the derivative of the function. I need to get the derivative, the first derivative. As a rule of the derivative, that we multiply the power by the coefficient. The power here is 3. 3 multiplied by 2 equals 6. So 6. And then after that, take 1 from the power, or minus 1 from the power. So Mr. becomes a power 2. And then after that, minus 4x. We said that if you have any number multiplied by x, just write the number. So it would be 4. And then after that, any constant will be equals to 0. So the result will be 6x squared minus 4, which is letter A. We're going to the next problem. Number 14, the reference angle for an angle of measure 120. 120, if we need to get the reference angle, ask yourself 120 in which quad? Mister, it's in the second quad. In the second quad, yes, 180 minus the angle theta, so 180 minus 120, so it will be 60 degrees. So the reference angle for 120 is 60 degrees. We going to the next. I need to get the limit when x approaches to 5 for x squared minus 25 over x minus 5. If you have a problem like this by direct substitution, you will get 25 minus 25 over 5 minus 5. So you will get 0 over 0, and it's undetermined. Undetermined value, so you must use the factorization. So, Mister, we'll use the factorization. So I write limit when x approaches or tends to 5, 4. Up, we have difference of two squares. It means x minus 5 and x plus 5. Down, we have x minus 5. Cancel x minus 5 with x minus 5. The remainder is x plus 5. Substitute by 5. So 5 plus 5, it's equal to 10. So the result will be letter A, 10. So if we have a problem like this, we'll use the direct substitution first. After using the direct substitution, if you get undetermined value, so we will use factorization to cancel. When you cancel, you can substitute by the value of x, and this is the answer. We're going to number 16. In the opposite figure, the value of x which make L parallel to M. The two lines L and M are parallel if the two angles showed in the graph are equal or are congruent. This angle and this angle represent corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. So if we have two congruent corresponding angles, one inside and one outside, okay, so the two lines will be parallel. So we need these two angles to be equal. So I just get 14x plus 9 equal to 5x plus 90. In the other side, by the opposite sign, so it will be 9x equal 81. I get 5x in the other side, 9 in the other side by the opposite sign. Divide by 9, so x will be equal to 9. So the value of x that make the two lines parallel is 9. This is the answer of number 16. We're going to number 17. And number 17, if the length of the sides of the triangle are integers and the length of the two sides are 5 and 7, then what is the least possible length for the third side? This is a problem from GAT exam. Just we need to get the third side if we have two sides of the triangle. To get the third side, I name the third side by x and make like this. Make here the addition, the plus, and here minus. Mister, 7 plus 5 equals 12. And here 7 minus 5, of course, the big number minus a small number. There is length by negative, so it will be 2. So the third side is included between 2 and 12. So, and he said here it's integer. Integer, it means there is no point. So after 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, and so on till you reach 11. The possible least one is, yes, 3. So the answer will be 3. So again, if he give you two sides of the triangle and ask you about the interval of the third side, it will be included between the sum and the difference. The sum and the difference. Okay, we go to the next. We going to number 18. He asked you about the domain. He asked you about the domain. The domain, we have some cases for the domain. This is a fraction. This is a rational expression or a fraction. If we have a fraction or rational expression, we will take down. Yes, look down. We have x plus 3. So x plus 3 equals to 0. So from it, we have x equal negative 3. So our domain will be all real numbers except the value of -3, because if you substitute by -3, you will get undefined. You will get undefined. Okay. So r except -3. R except -3. We can write it by another way. From -infinity to -3, opened of course, union from -3 to +infinity. This is like this. Okay, I'll take all the numbers except the -3, as we have -3 is opened here and opened in the other side. Okay, we going to number 19. The measure between, I need the measure of the angle between the two vectors V and U. The measures of the angle included between the two vectors, we get it by using this rule: cosine theta equal the inner product or the scalar product of the two vectors V dot U over the magnitude of V multiply the magnitude of U. So we have here the inner product, it means multiply. The inner product, it means multiply. So I have here 2 multiplied by -5, it will be equal to -10. And 2 multiplied by 0, it will be equals to 0. So plus 0 up. Down, we need to get the magnitude by using the square root of the sum of the squares. It means Mr. 2 squared plus 2 squared, it means Mr. 4 plus 4. -5 squared plus 0 squared, it means 25 plus 0. So you will get the answer as -10 up and down. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. 8 root 8, it means 2 root 2. And 25 under square root, it will be 5. So pay attention about simplifying, please. So this will be 5. This will be 2 root 2. Multiply 2 by 5, it will be 10. So it's a -10 over 10 root 2. I multiply 5 by 2, the outside number, and leave the square root as it is. So cancel here, cancel, divide by 10, divide by 10. So it will be -1 over root 2. This is not the simplest form. By multiplying both up and down by root 2, you will get negative root 2 over 2. Root 2 over 2, it's 45, mister. It's 45, mister. But negative, it means in the second quad, because cosine is negative in the second quad. Cosine of the angle equals root 2 over 2 is 45. But I need 45 in the second quad because cosine is negative in the second quad. In the second quad, mister, it will be 180, as we said in the previous example. 180 minus 45, so the result will be 135. This is the answer. We're going to number 20. The rectangular form of the vector V, where the magnitude of V equals 12 and theta equals 60. We said that the rectangular form is X and Y, and the polar form is R and theta. He gave me R and theta, and he asked me about X and Y. So X equal R cosine theta, and Y equal R sine theta. So R cosine theta, it means 12. This is the value of R. Cosine 60. And here will be 12 sine 60. 12 cosine. Cosine 60 equals half. Half of 12 is 6. Sine 60 equal root 3 over 2. So it's 6 root 3. So the result will be 6 and 6 root 3, which is letter A. This is for number 20. We're going to number 21. Number 21, the value of log with base 6 for cube root for 36. First, I write log with base 6, and I write the number by another way. What is the way? I write 36 as 6 power 2. So the cube root for 6 power 2. For 6 power 2. Okay, after that, I'll simplify it more. So log with base 6 for 6 power 2 over 3. Power 2 over 3, because if you have a root, you will divide the power by the value of the root. After that, Mr., you will get here the power outside. As we said, if we have a power, we can get this power and put it outside. So 2 over 3. And then log here with base 6 for 6. Log with base 6 for 6 is equal to 1, because 6 power 1 equals to 6. So this will be 1. So 2 over 3 multiplied by 1 equals 2 over 3. This is the result for problem number 21. We're going to number 22. Number 22, he said this function is even or odd, or neither even nor odd, or even and odd. Even and odd, it can't be even and odd. Okay, so we will use our test. Our test said that if you have a function like this, you will multiply or you will remove x by negative x by negative x, and get the result. So, Mr., I'll get f of negative x. F of negative x, Mr., it's a negative x power 3 minus 5. This power 3, don't remove the negative sign, so negative x power 3 minus 5. Is this as original or equals to the original function? No. So this is not even. Not even. If the function is not even, complete. If it's even, okay. But it's not even, Mr. How can I complete? Take negative as a common factor. I'll take negative outside. It will be x power 3. If you take negative from negative 5, it will be positive 5 also. Is the number inside the bracket is equivalent or it's equal to the original? No. Also no, so it's not odd. If it's equal, the number inside, so it's odd. If it's not, so it's not even, not odd, so neither even nor odd. Letter C. We're going to the next. Find the value of B that makes the matrix doesn't have multiplicative inverse. The matrix has multiplicative inverse if the determinant equal to any number except 0. But if it has a value of the determinant 0, so it's without multiplicative inverse. So I'll substitute. I have here, as you see the numbers, 3, negative 2, and here we have B multiplied by, and here 4. Get the value of the determinant. Mr. The main diagonal minus the other diagonal. 3 times 4 equal 12. Minus from the rule. Negative 2 times B. It means negative 2B. Negative 2B. Mr. Negative, negative, it will be positive. So 2B plus 12. It must be equal to 0 in order not to have a multiplicative inverse. So equal to 0 and substitute. So 2B equals to negative 12. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So B equals negative 6. So the value of B will be negative 6 if you have no multiplicative inverse. We're going to number 24. The average rate of change of this function in the interval from 0 to 3. The average rate of change, equal to f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. Now I'll get f of x2. F of x2 equals 2. I'll substitute. This is x1 and this is x2, and the order is very important. So I have here to substitute first by 3, Mr. I'll substitute here by 3. 3 power 3 equals 27 minus 3. So it will be 24. And then f of x1 equals, substitute by 0. It will be 0, Mr. So up you will have 24 minus 0. Down x2 minus x1. It means 3 minus 0. So it's 24 over 3. So it will be equals to 8. So the average rate of change in this interval will be 8. And we're going to the last problem in our exam. The last problem in our exam in the arithmetic sequence, A3 equals to 9, A10 equals to 30. What is the common difference? What is the common difference? We will use the nth term here. What is the rule of the nth term? An, because we work in arithmetic. So an equals a1 plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. So we will use this nth term for A3 and A10. A3 and A10. I'll substitute by A3. A3 is equal to what? To 9. Okay, what is A3? Mr. A1. So A1 plus n minus 1. It means here n is equal to 3. 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So 2D. A3 equals to 9. So I just write here 9. And then A10. A10 is equal to A1 plus 9D because n here is equal to 10. 10 minus 1 equals 9 equals 230. And then after that, I'll use the subtraction minus. If you minus here, you will get or you will remove A1. A1 minus A1 equals to 0. 2 minus 9 equal negative 7D. And the 9 minus 30 equals to 21 by negative. Divide by negative 7 here, divide by negative 7 here. So D will be equal to 3. So I get the common difference as you see. He need here the common difference D, and we get the value which is 3. This is the end of our session and the end of this exam. Thanks for your attendance and goodbye.